Donald Trump spent most of last week pretty much freaking out about the fact that he is definitely going to be indicted again, not just by the special prosecutor Jack Smith, but about the fact that he is facing some pretty serious racketeering charges from Georgia Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis. And as such, Donald Trump reached out to his conservative allies in Congress, making phone calls to people like Kevin McCarthy and Elise Stefanik, asking them to do something. Matt Gaetz said he was going to pass legislation to defund Jack Smith's investigations. But Trump also issued some pretty serious threats, seemingly against the entire country. At one point, during a conservative radio interview in Iowa last week, Donald Trump warned that his supporters are some pretty passionate people, and it could get, quote, dangerous if Donald Trump gets indicted again. His people might become dangerous, Donald Trump suggested. So maybe we ought to just not indict him because, we don't want the lunatics out there doing crazy stuff. And then he took it a step further. He shared a post on Truth Social, originally posted by another account, and it was audio captured of Donald Trump from 2020, where Trump said, quote, and I got to clean up the language, "If you F around with us, if you do something bad to us, we are going to do things to you that have never been done before." And Donald Trump shared that on Truth Social. He shared the post from another user, basically saying, if you do bad things to us, we're going to do bad things to you that nobody's ever even seen before. Now, the original context of that quote from Donald Trump was, of course, stripped out of the video, which is why it's so disturbing, because in the original context, Donald Trump was talking about Iran. Like, hey, Iran, if you do something to us, we're going to come and attack you. But the Iran part was stripped out, so it makes it appear that this is just a threat against, of course, everyone, anyone, prosecutors, judges, investigators, anyone in the public who doesn't support Donald Trump. Without that context, which of course was intentionally stripped from it, this just becomes a blanket threat against anyone and everyone who does not stand blindly behind Donald Trump. And that is what is becoming so dangerous here. Donald Trump has now reached the point where he is issuing threats. He issued the threat on the conservative radio show, like, my people get passionate. You better be careful. He shares this threat posted on Truth Social. This man knows exactly what he's doing. In most areas of his life, he does not. He just does whatever the hell he wants. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, well, he'll try something else. But in this particular instance, Trump knows how to manipulate a mob better than I think anybody else has ever known. He did it on January 6th. Whether he wanted to or not, he did it. He did it when he inspired his rabid supporters to load up a truck with explosives and weapons and try to go into CNN. He did it when we've seen these other Trump supporters across the country get violent and kill people. He knows what he's doing. He chooses his words in these instances very carefully. He chooses what he shares on Truth Social very carefully. And he does it because he understands at this point maybe his last best hope is for his supporters to rise up, try to do another coup, I guess, so that he doesn't get prosecuted. But the one thing Donald Trump doesn't ever take into consideration is that there's a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them. Yes, he may still have millions of supporters, but he has hundreds of millions of people who do not like him, who do not support him. And of course, he has the entire weight of the United States federal government that would immediately squash any kind of rebellion or uprising that his angry supporters attempted to engage in. So all Trump is doing is basically trying to use his hardcore supporters as cannon fodder because that is what they would become at that point. But he's not going to stop. He doesn't care how many of his supporters' lives he has to ruin if it gives him just a glimmer of hope that he may not have to go to prison. It ain't going to work, but he's not going to stop. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel, We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.